Hey guys, happy Friday. Welcome back to our 5 weekly favorites. I feel like we have a couple fall things, and I know we talked about doing our annual fall favorites video, so this is, I guess, kind of like teasing our fall favorites. But first is the Meyers Apple Cider Scent Hand Soap, and the Meyers hand soaps, they really get you with the seasonal ones.
I know. Why are they so good?
Because I don't really like any. I guess I like the rainwater one of their normal offering.
Oh, I like the... Oh, no, they don't do the basil. That's someone else. Method. Never mind.
Yeah.
No, the Meyers I'm not a huge fan of.
Yeah, but then they come out with the winter one. I forget what it's called, like snow something. That one's my all-time favorite. I need to stock up this year, but this one's my favorite fall one. They have this one, I like the acorn one, and it just smells like pumpkin-y, but with lots of spices. It's not too sweet.
And apples.
Yeah.
Super good.
It's really
We look forward to it
delicious.
every year.
It smells so good. I get the bathroom cleaning spray. Well, I guess it's multi-purpose cleaning spray. I just use it in my bathroom.
Okay, we have another fall treat. These are the Pillsbury pumpkin cookie dough, limited edition pumpkin flavor, and there's a whole thread online about how people are so upset that Pillsbury changed their formula because they're all now this
different.
Yeah, they're all the eat or safe to eat raw. They have this little marking, and so they do taste different and they do bake up differently
They bake different
than former Pillsbury cookie doughs, but I'm sure they just made that decision because a lot of people like eating their cookie dough raw, and we've tried these baked and raw, and we definitely prefer them raw.
Yeah.
You can taste all the pumpkin spices when they're raw, and for some reason once these are baked they just taste sweet.
Yeah.
There's no
Because the white chocolate
flavor.
chips.
Yeah,
Or cream cheese flavored chips.
Yeah, so they're really good, but if you get them, highly recommend eating them raw. And they're just a great little treat to have.
So
we literally
good.
have one left.
Yeah.
And there's 12 in here.
12 big cookies.
We thought that we talked about them last week, and then we realized we didn't. So love these. Okay, a sunscreen favorite for the week was the Color Science Glow SPF 50, the Sunforgettable Total Protection Face Shield. And I've had this for a while. I think we've talked about it before.
Yeah, this is the old version, old packaging, right?
Is it?
Or maybe they kept maybe it's
They
just the
changed the
packaging that's
packaging.
updated. I think the cap is a different color now.
Oh, maybe. But I think when we got this, it was the winter time, and I wasn't using the Glow one in the winter because I felt like it is pretty glowy. But now that it's summertime, I've been mixing this in with the Cetaphil one. I'll do 2 fingers of the Cetaphil, 1 finger of this, and I feel like it just adds the most natural looking luminosity to the skin, and it just makes your skin look a little more alive, especially because the Cetaphil has quite the white cast. So mixing them together just gives my skin a little more life, and the formula on its own is really lovely too. If I were to lay out in the sun, I think I would use this on my face alone, because I when you're already sweaty and gross, that healthy glow is kind of nice. But otherwise I use it with the Cetaphil. But it's a really nice sunscreen. I forgot how good it was, so I wanted to mention it this week. I have a skincare favorite as well. So I was breaking out, I think I talked about this in a video, but all over my forehead and over my chin. And usually my chin is just hormonal, and it usually passes really quickly. But for some reason, the ones on my forehead were not going away, and I was getting more. I still never figured out what was causing it. I don't know if it was something I was eating or what, but they're gone now, mostly because I just think it ran its natural course.
Yeah.
But this helped so much during this.
there's Terry.
Oh, Terry's right next to us. He's so cute. And it's the Paula's Choice 2% BHA liquid exfoliant, so it's 2% salicylic acid. Everyone knows about this, everyone loves this, but I had never tried it. I actually do think I might have tried a sample size a long time ago, but it's been years and years, so I picked it up, and I was shocked at how gentle this is for being a salicylic acid product. Normally anything with salicylic acid, especially 2%, I would have to use once a week and just be really careful, and definitely not use retinol on the sandwiching days between. But I was able to use this because I really wanted to get rid of them. I used it every other night, and then I used retinol in between for most of those nights. So I was really shocked. I have really sensitive skin, and this did not irritate my skin at all, but it definitely helped to dry up and bring those pimples to the surface really quickly.
Did you just use it on your forehead?
No, I used it all over.
Oh, okay.
And I did want to call that out too, because it is super fluid. So I would put it in my hands, and I just got the small one too on Sephora, which was only $10. But I put it in my hands and then like rub them together and then like pat it on everywhere because I didn't want to put it on a cotton round and have the cotton round soak up the product since I don't have a ton of product. But I seriously, like, I'm just gonna keep buying the small size, I think, because I don't think now that my skin is like cleared up a bit more, I don't think this is something I'm going to use every other night like I was, but I think I'm gonna use it once or twice a week because I saw like my skin like really, it just really helped with breakouts, and it really helped with like congestion, and it didn't irritate my skin. Like whatever else, I think there's something else in here that they say, well, there's like green tea. It just helps to like almost not moisturize your skin, but it really like counteracts how strong the salicylic acid is. Like they did a really good job on the formula. So if you have sensitive skin and you haven't really found like an exfoliating product that works and is gentle enough, like highly recommend this. Okay, and last up is a book favorite. I was gonna put this in monthly favorites, but I didn't want to wait to talk about it because then like forget how much I loved it since I'm reading another book right now. But this is the Happy Ever After playlist by Abby Jimenez. Looks like this. I got it. I actually bought this a while ago and then hadn't read it, which is funny because, so I'll just backtrack here. If you have heard of The Friend Zone, that's another book by Abby, and I read that months ago, and then I forgot that I bought this, which was technically a sequel, and then when I was like, I should have just read it right after I finished The Friend Zone. I don't know what I was thinking. Well, it's kind of a sequel, basically. It's more so like a spin-off. But I was reading about Abby because she is like a Food Network chef.
Wow.
Yeah, she's a Food Network chef. She's like very, very, and she writes accomplished, and she like is a writer on the side, and I adore her writing style. I feel like I'm gonna do a really bad job of explaining it, but the best way I can explain her writing style is that she makes you feel like you're in the room with the characters, like you are part of their story, you are part of like their circle. I feel like the way she describes things, it's so in-depth and not in an annoying way where you're reading a book and they're talking about like, oh, the trees are covered in the most fluffiest cloud-like snow. Like that is kind of an annoying detail that we don't need to know. But the way that she writes in detail, like in the dialogue detail, I guess I should say, it's so detailed that like you feel like you're part of this conversation because there's so much back and forth happening and it just seems so real, and I love that. And it was just captivating, honestly. I finished this book in 2 days. I think I started it on a Saturday and finished it on Sunday. And I loved it. I liked it more than The Friend Zone. And then when I went back to read about it, Abby said that this book is the first book she wrote and the one that got her agent and her book deal. And then she went back and wrote The Friend Zone because they wanted her to do like a prequel to this book and release this second. So I thought that was really interesting. So I know I haven't even gotten to the plot line, so I'll really quick run through it. But it's basically about this woman named Sloane, and she is the best friend in the first book, and she is the main character in this book. And her fiance Brandon dies in a motorcycle accident in The Friend Zone, and so this is kind of like picks up where that left off a few years later. She's still mourning Brandon's loss, and then she has this adorable meet cute with this guy who ends up being like a famous musician, but she doesn't know that at the time. She finds his dog while he's on tour, and they kind of like start to text and talk on the phone, and then they meet up when he needs to get his dog back when he comes back, and then they fall in love, and it's a whole thing. But it's a really cute storyline, and she actually has, so I love music, but it's not like my thing. Like TV's more my thing, I feel like, you know, yeah. My like medium. And she has, since it's called the Happy Ever After playlist, each chapter has like a new song on the playlist, and then I'm sure there's a way to listen to this playlist, but I thought that was a really cute touch too. I loved it. I thought it was so good. I gave it 5 stars on Goodreads. It was my first 5-star review this year. So if that says anything, or I might have given Verity 5 stars, but it was either the first or the second. That's how much I loved it. Highly recommend. Okay, that is it for this week. Our dogs are getting anxious, so we have to go. We'll see you guys next week.